What is up, you amazing people? It is I, Nima, and today I want to talk about a game called Diluc and Fae Dance of Death. Now, before we get into that though, I have to say a couple things, a couple little side notes for the video. I'm gonna have to end up using more trailers than I want to use, but the game moves very, very slow, and so if I don't, it's just gonna be really boring for you. But also, I want to remind you guys that like and subscribe button is right there. He misses you. He needs you to click on him. Both of them do. So, don't show favoritism unless you already clicked on the subscribe button before, then you're cool and everybody likes you. Now, I have to ask you guys a question though, regardless of sub or not. Why is it that the gaming gods hate me this year? What have I done to them to possibly anger them so much? Did I have too much of a happy-go-lucky 2022? Did I give too many positive reviews out? What is it? Because right now, I'm in the precipice of like my fourth bad review of the year, and it's only the 24th of January. So what could it be? And the problem is, they hurt so bad. They hurt so bad because these games could be so good. Like, they are so damn close to being good. I'm not going to ruin everything that's a problem with it. In fact, I want to talk about the good stuff with Dance of Death. Start off on a strong note. But I ask that you stay to the end because towards the end is when I'm going to talk about what's really broken about this game. Now, starting off in the game, you are Diluc or you can be Fae. And it's kind of cool how these two characters switch out. The one thing, though, is one of these characters, Fae, is a dog. And listen, if that's gone far enough, just wait. It gets way, way more complex and complicated. But not in a bad way, actually. So, you're in a village where a demon has just attacked and killed somebody. In this state, you have Fae and Diluc kind of debating what they should do. Now, Diluc apparently just wants to help people, just wants to bring bad guys or demons to justice, and, that whole spiel. On the other side, Fae is like, well, okay, cool, but I want money. We need food, we need all these resources to keep us going, and if you keep doing all of these tasks for free, you're not getting us anywhere. So it's kind of interesting to have that little back and forth. But of course they go and investigate the attack anyway. Now this starts off with the main mechanic of the game, which is you're a detective. You look into these crimes and you try to find out what's going on. You exhume the body with both characters because both are going to be able to tell you something different. Fae has an animalistic ability to sense things and to smell things, as where obviously Diluc has the ability to rummage around in pockets and, just kind of try to find stuff that is on the person. Now they end up solving the case and it goes further a little bit where you kind of find out this is a great team. They work really well together and you start getting these clues as to who these people really are. You kind of discover that Fae is after Merlin the magician, from the King Arthur days, lore I should say, and you discover that Diluc is actually Lancelot and Fae, the dog, is King Arthur's sister. Now, Merlin apparently had concocted this massive spell that just either cursed or killed a bunch of people from the Round Table. Now, these two specifically were cursed and obviously can't die, as this game does take place in like the 1800s. And turning Fae into a dog was just another part of it. Early on, you also learn that there are other people like Diluc and Fae. Now, quickly on the heels of Merlin, they travel to a different town where they're quickly met with somebody who is probably one of them. They can't completely confirm it, but you also then become this person in Chapter 2. Both parties are independently working on trying to solve a crime that's happening in this new city, where a serial killer is mutilating streetwalkers. By this point, you kind of understand the game's mechanic, and I even like the idea of them using characters that we know about, we've heard about, and breathing new life into these characters, because simultaneously you can be introducing a complex story or new game mechanics without overwhelming the player, because they don't have to digest a whole scenario, mechanics, and new characters. I think it's a really good idea to bring these characters in. Now, why does this game fail? Because it sounds really good, right? Performance, my friends. Performance and controls. The controls are the most frustrating thing in the world, and it's because it's meant to be a touchscreen game, and you can even play it in touchscreen mode, and that's great if you're playing in handheld mode, except for the touchscreen kind of sucks too. It doesn't respond like it should. And just trying to use your analog stick to control your character is, you try to walk straight and you're just walking in zigzags. It is so frustrating, and it's something that could be easily fixed. At times it feels like your character has so much inertia from moving that they can't turn properly. It is outrageous how bad this mechanic is, because it's not something that's even that important in this type of game. But they ended up making this a center stage problem because it is so inadequate, it'll cause one of your blood vessels to burst. That's not the only issues, you see, because the lagging, the pop-in, the overall glitchiness of it is incredibly counter-immersive. And that's a nice way to say it. It's trash, actually. So if you interact with somebody and you have like a cutscene, not even a cutscene, let's just say the objective list updates, you will stand there for about 2 to 3 seconds and you're curious what your character's doing, or you're supposed to be moving, you can't move it, and then all of a sudden it'll just pop to where it's supposed to be. And it is jarring the way that this happens. Not only that, but just moving your character around the city or the village, you can see the other NPCs and other parts of the game, and they're just struggling to move, and your character's struggling to move. I wonder if it's like single-digit frames per second that you're dealing with right here. It is so pathetically bad, because honestly, the graphics they're fine, but they're not great. There's not that many moving pieces going on. This game should be something that could easily be played on the Nintendo Switch and not have a problem. And that's the issue too. There is not one time when you interact with somebody or when you do something that you don't have one of these glitches or these lags. And many of them are just outright, I don't know, it almost feels like the game's gonna crash. Like they're outright catatonic, if I'm being honest. It's awful, because you have the story of two different teams working on a game. You have the writers, the character design, the story layout, all of that is superb, fantastic. And then they're let down by their counterparts, the programmers, the dev team who are actually working on this game from, a mechanical standpoint, and they just dropped the ball. And I find that very irritating, especially when you're talking about a game that doesn't need that much. Like, it's not reliant on fast-paced combat or, super shiny graphics or anything like that. No, it's not. And by the way, it also has really great voice acting as well. But that is completely thrown out the window, as well as it doesn't keep up with what's going on screen, because the screen is busy lagging and, popping in and out and glitching and all these issues. Now, I will say too, though, with the voice acting and accessibility, there is one thing that is kind of irritating, and that is if you are deaf, you can't enjoy this game, because the voice acting moves so quickly that it's hard to read what they're saying, and it just keeps going, and you can't really turn that off or turn on a system where you can just control the speed of which the text is coming in. And this is a huge issue, because you literally can't play the game because of a disability that you might have. Now, aside from all of that, I'm gonna watch this game, because that's how well I think that the writing, the character design, and story development, and all of that really is. I'm gonna see, do they fix this game? Because I think that they could. I don't think it's like beyond repair, but it's just, are they gonna plan to actually do it? And that's something, I don't know anything about this dev team. I don't know if that's something that they would even care about, or if they're just fine turning in a subpar game, letting it lie. I would hope not, but we'll see in the future if they do add different updates and patches to fix this game. I'll definitely let you know if that happens, in kind of a patched up style video. I will let you know, because again, I enjoyed what I played, and the story itself is incredibly compelling. I want to know more, but I cannot deal with the game. Like, the mechanics of it are just so bad that it's unplayable, honestly. But anyway, that's my thoughts of Deluxe and Fae Dance of Death. Please let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are, what games you're playing, what games you're looking forward to. Give me some ideas of what games to review, whatever. I love interacting with you guys, and that's probably the biggest part of why I love doing this channel. Anyway, guys, like always, I'm wishing you health, wealth, and above all, I hope you're truly happy, because you make me happy. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.